Hello, and welcome to Trek Tuesdays from 7poundbag.com. I do want to apologize for not having a show last week. I'm going to make up for you today because you're going to get two. Not only am I going to do one today, we're going to do one this afternoon. So I will catch up considering we are kind of looking at quite a long show. So I don't want to get off track and get too far behind. So I guess I'll throw two in today just to kind of make up for it, make it look better. But I do want to thank you for coming by and taking a look at us. Make sure you do share and subscribe. Make sure you spread this around. Any comments, of course, are going to be much appreciated. Keep in mind, I have never seen any of these shows before. If I have, it's been well over 30 years, just to kind of let you know. But I don't think I've ever seen any of these shows start to finish. I know I've seen a lot of the clips. Of course, Trouble with Tribbles, that's kind of common knowledge, I guess you could say, in the Star Trek universe. But here we go. So this was episode 1, the actual pilot. Our current scorecard is sitting at 0 for 1. But this is the actual pilot for the one that we know. And I am instantly overjoyed because when we come to the bridge, it's just 3 people. It's Spock and 2 other people. Chekhov and Sulu are not here. But it's 2 people that we kind of don't know, to be quite honest with you. But I'm instantly happy because it's not crowded. I don't have 7 people standing around the bridge. I don't have people just standing by the door holding up the wall. It's very nice. It's very loose. It's very airy, which is kind of nice. We come down to the planet, and it is Kirk, McCoy, and a red shirt. He's not a red shirt yet, but we all know he's a red shirt. Some nondescript crewman. Again, we don't really know if this is a military vessel quite yet, but again, it's a crewman. Instantly, military protocol goes out the window whenever the scientist and his wife that they're doing a wellness check shows up, because the crewman has absolutely no bearing whatsoever and no couth as a human being, because he can't get over how much she looks like this chick that he knows. I don't know if they've hit riser or not, but still, it's kind of funny when you're sitting there with the captain of the starship, and this girl is supposed to be the doctor's ex-girlfriend, and you're going to apparently try to hit on her. That is ignorant and stupid beyond all measure. Kirk rightly throws him out, basically tells him to go play in the dirt because they don't have traffic on this planet. And he goes. And Kirk also looks at her differently than McCoy does for some odd reason. But it's kind of interesting. So as they're going in doing the wellness check on the scientist who is obsessed with salt for some reason, the crewman has died. He screams, dies. They go out, take a look at him. There's these red circles on him. And for some reason, they think he's killed. They think he's been poisoned by eating some of the local vegetation, which I do know. If you ever go to a strange planet, first thing you do is you find the first thing that looks green and leafy, put it in your mouth, see what happens. Not like you've got a doctor nearby or a ship. I mean, it's not like they've been down there for a week and are starving. He just leans over and says, "Oh, that looks crunchy," and picks it up and eats it. Ugh. So, red shirt number 1, dead. Have a nice life. So, the scientist is a little goofy, and they go up and they try to find out what happened to the crewman. They find out that he wasn't actually poisoned. All the salt was pulled out of his body. They figure out something odd because the scientist keeps whining about salt, and this kid has got all the salt pulled out of him. So we come to find out that the wife, McCoy's ex-girlfriend, is a shapeshifter, and she shapeshifts into another member of the crew after killing one of them. So she is on the ship. The scientist is not giving up anything because he loves her. As you would if there was a shapeshifter. I mean, I think Mystique in the X-Men movies all told us that. And I know, bad joke, what can I say? And as she is running rampant on the ship, impersonating different people, killing different people, for some reason still can't get salt, which doesn't make any sense to me. The scientist engages in a nice little running gun battle between Kirk and a few others, which, again, just bad sci-fi here. But anyway, because you would think a random scientist could not stand up to an actual military unit, even with them being Navy, insert joke here. Sorry, I'm ex-Army, I can do that. And we finally figure out that she's not actually McCoy's ex-girlfriend. She is actually just a shape-shifting alien that the scientist found, and she's been basically killing everybody to get the salt. Again, I'm giving this episode a pass. I did kind of enjoy it. Kirk's not overacting here. McCoy's not quite annoying here. Spock's not quite the know-it-all here. It's kind of interesting. I will kind of point out that Spock kind of gets his butt whooped. It's kind of funny. He's not quite Worf class yet, I guess, so to speak. Neither's Kirk, but still. It's kind of interesting. I'm going to circle back around to the ending, the part I didn't like, for those of you that want to kind of be unspoiled for a show that's older than me and my gray-haired self. But, again, I will give this episode a pass. I did kind of enjoy it. If you're dropping off here, come back this afternoon. We'll look at our episode 2. Come back next week. We'll look at episode 3. Any comments, throw it in the bottom. Again, spoilers ahoy. Good luck. So, not a big fan of the way the ending goes. You have a last or one of the last of the species, and we just fry it. We don't stun it. We don't try to contain it. We don't try to block it up. It's not like it's able to change into, mud or water or air to get out. We just kind of let it go. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You would think you'd at least want to trap it if you are on a exploratory mission. But no, we just go ahead and kill it. Who cares? We just fry it right here where it stands. And it vanishes, which is kind of an annoyance when it comes to sci-fi, how you just get rid of that much mass to leave no trace. At least in some episodes of Star Trek, it did leave a burn mark on the carpet, which I much prefer that. Give me something. You would think whenever you're using a phaser, which is a heat ray basically, with something that contains that much water, you would have a problem. But again, what do I know? I will say you have a fairly high body count. I think she gets like 5 people. Again, it takes them a while to figure it out. We don't have a Chekhov. We don't have a Scotty, I don't believe. Sulu does show up in one scene where the yeoman shows up to bring him his dinner, which is kind of funny. A bit sexist, considering somebody remarks that I wish we could have her bringing me dinner, which, considering Sulu is George Takei, not really that impressed by some blonde bringing him dinner. He's not one criminal that doesn't matter to. It's kind of funny in my mind, but what do I know? But moving on, like I said, we do have a fairly much tighter cast. This is definitely built upon our trilogy foundation. It's very much a Kirk and McCoy show. Spock being a major supporting character, but not quite front and center. But I did kind of like it. Like I said, I give this one a pass. I did like it. I was not a fan of the ending. Just didn't make a whole lot of sense. You would think, being a tactical commander, which Kirk is, he would have figured things out a lot more quickly and shut down the ship a whole lot easier. I don't quite understand why a creature needs salt this badly and is so inefficient at getting it. Again, the scientist says we're almost out of salt tablets, so it's not like she's starving and she's stupid for that reason. Because, obviously when you're starving, you're going to be, not quite there. Why she doesn't just swipe the salt off Sulu's tray? Again, being on a ship that size with that many people, you're going to have, several galleys. Because they don't have replicators as far as we know. Or as far as we don't know in this ship. So you would think there was probably going to be a galley on each deck in addition to, I'm sure they're going to have vending machines somewhere where you could get salt. And considering the amount of salt that the human body requires, how much salt do you need when you kill like 4 people and drain all their salt out of it? I don't know the salt content of the human body, but I've got to think that if you pull all the salt out of somebody, or 90% or whatever it is that they pulled out of the bodies, I would think there's got to be more than a handful. Just throwing it out there. If you know exactly how much salt's in a human body, please throw it in the comments. But I pretty much guarantee you, even in the blood, there's going to be more than a cup would be my guess. But still, I do want to thank y'all for coming back. Throw me any comments in the bottom. I will see you this afternoon. Make sure you hit the website for our NBA Roundtable, our MLB Roundtable, weekly political type humor stuff, my movie reviews, all our good fun stuff. Y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks for coming. Bye.